Welcome inside East Peoria Community High School. More Class 3A Regional semifinal action. And boy, folks, we have a doozy on our hands, maybe even the best regional semi in the state tonight. Two competitive teams. It's the Richwoods Knights taking on the hosts, the East Peoria Raiders, here on Clutch Sports Media. Good evening, everyone. We're glad you're with us. Just saw a big win for the Peoria High Lions, taking down Limestone by a healthy margin. 74-41, I believe that final score was. And Brock, I think we should see a little bit more competitive of a game this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the game of the night here for sure. Two very teams I think that kind of match up pretty well. 4 and 5 seed in this side of the regionals. There should be an absolute fantastic game between these two teams tonight.
Again, these are two squads that are both having strong seasons. Richwoods, a great rebound season for them after a state third place finish last year. And we're getting ready for our national anthem, so we'll take a quick break briefly here in a second. But again, Richwoods comes in 17-12, East Peoria 23-8. Most successful season for them in over 20 years, Brock. What a year for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had to double check that was doing my math right when I saw that. I was like, yeah, first 20-win season since 1997. So, I mean, unprecedented success for them, but, you know, they're here. They got some young guys. It looks like this success could continue.
Most definitely. We'll step aside briefly here for our national anthem and have tip-off coming in just a few minutes here on ClutchSportsIL.com. East Peoria student section letting us know where we're at the home of, and it's the home of the Raiders. And they look to defend home court as a higher seed here tonight in their own regional semifinal. Always definitely an advantage we get to play in front of your home crowd. A very good crowd here tonight, Brock. Both sides pretty full. I'd say this gym is probably about 70 to 75% full right now, if not more. And again, still might have some people trickling in after they park up the hill, I'm sure. I bet the parking lot is full right now.
Say there wasn't a ton of spots when I got here, and I can only imagine there's even fewer now. I mean, this place is going to get loud on both sides. It's important to have a big start here, kind of get that crowd, the other team's crowd out of it, not let them get going.
Here's the starters for Richwoods here tonight. Well, I should bring East Peoria's first. Why not? We talked about Richwoods briefly. East Peoria, again, having the best season in quite some time. They're starting 5 tonight. Jackson Aarons, Cole Dubois, Quentin Kitt, Mason Isaacs being introduced right now, and also Andrew Horton. So, you know, Brock, this isn't a very deep East Peoria team. They only have 9 players on their entire roster. Richwoods definitely has them beat in the depth department, but East Peoria has 2 1,000-point scorers that are just sophomores in Dubois and Kitt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those are the two guys that kind of make this engine go on this offense. So staying out of foul trouble for both of them, but really for this entire starting 5 for East Peoria is going to be the name of the game. Do not want to have to use that bench very much if you are EP.
Definitely not. It's an EP team that likes to get physical. They like to shoot free throws. We'll see if Richwoods can keep them off the stripe because the Raiders are very dangerous there. Richwoods' starting 5 is Kingston Caldwell. He'll tip it off in the center against Quentin Kitt. Marlon Heron, the lone real returner for Richwoods that saw significant minutes last year. Truman Rauer, also a returner from last year, in the starting lineup tonight. They're joined by the freshman guard, Amarion Smith-Holly, and Craven Bailey. Forward for them, and our key player to watch for them tonight, Richwoods, Brock, is the freshman Smith-Holly.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching him in warm-ups, just kind of shoot some layups, get to the rim. A couple of almost near dunks in the warm-up. So,
oh my, what a start from Quentin Kidd. Elevates and sinks it. Not even 20 seconds into this one. He can really stretch the floor, and he is a next level type of prospect because he can get so physical, he's grown so much, and he can really shoot the rock too.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have big guys like that that are comfortable stepping out beyond the three-point line, knocking down triples with confidence, it just makes them that much more appealing at the next level and just so much better at the high school level.
Brian Wardle from Bradley just recently offered Quentin Kidd. I'm sure Brian's not watching right now. Braves are going up against Valparaiso here in a few minutes. But again, Quentin also got scholarship offers for Illinois State too, as Jackson Aarons penetrates, drives hard off the glass, and the rebound goes to Caldwell.
Good strong take there by Aarons, though. Got right to the rim.
Drive out, Raher, baseline floater is good. That'll break the seal for Richwoods. As Du Bois directs traffic with Craven Bailey on him. Bailey's another guy to watch. Really underrated player. Kind of a wild floater there from Du Bois. His feet just kind of floated there, but he got it to fall. Nothing but net.
An impressive basket there by the sophomore Du Bois. Calling for the ball screen, gets it right to the rack with confidence. Tough floater there from that short corner, because that's a tough angle to get a floater to go in from.
Bailey gives it out to Heron. Three ball was well off the mark. I think Heron got contact there and wanted a foul. Didn't get it. Another floater from Du Bois. Similar looking shot. Got his own miss. Aarons rimmed out. But Kitt there, a third chance. Lays it up and in.
Boy, and we talked about Aarons, Kitt, and Du Bois a little bit in the pregame show, John, and they had their fingerprints all over this game so far for EP. Aarons unable to get the jumper to go or the layup to go, but it's led to two baskets for EP.
And another miss. Provokes a roar. Du Bois driving in and getting fouled. Bailey swatted it from behind, but they got Smith-Holly. There was some contact, and there's the first time we'll see East Peoria at the line. And boy, this Raiders student section completely full, pretty much. Pretty much no extra room in there to come if you're an EP student, and they're being very loud already.
Yeah, they're repping that maroon and gold over there very well, and they came ready to cheer.
First one good from Du Bois.
You know, I mean, when your basketball program has their first 20-win season in almost 30 years, you got to show up and show out for the student section.
Especially if it's at your home gym too. You know, you don't have to get on the fan bus or worry about, driving far away. Remember last year, 3A boys, a lot of them were playing in Pontiac. I think they played regionals there, if I'm not mistaken. I could have been wrong. So that was a little bit of a further drive for our Peoria area friends. Richwoods quickly the other way, and Smith-Holly got fouled there by Jordan Marsh into the game for the Raiders. But good amount of local regionals this year. Brock, you got Dunlap, you got East Peoria in 3A, you got El Paso Gridley at Tremont in 2A. Haven't really talked about 2A basketball tonight, but those are some great games going on over there. Down at 4A, Normal West hosting themselves a normal community play tonight. We'll bring you a lot of scores later on at halftime as Marlon Heron's three is too strong. And a good board and a foul on Heron.
Well, and I even remember, John, when Renco used to host a sectional. I used to go to those all the time, just seeing the local talent. I mean, I went to the Peoria Notre Dame Manual game when Peoria Notre Dame had the Dillon twins. I mean, that place was packed out like I'd never seen Renco before. It's just so cool when you allow these local fans to not drive very far and just pack these arenas out.
That is a hot topic of conversation. The sectional not being held at Renaissance Coliseum for the last about 3 years. And we remember doing some of those games, broadcasting at Renaissance Coliseum. We call it Renco because we're both Bradley guys, and that's Bradley slang, the kind of the shortened term for Renaissance Coliseum. But I always enjoyed having it there. I know a lot of people do as well. I know even Patrick Cunningham from WMBD asked Bob Becker, Morton girls head coach, last night and said, boy, don't you wish that you were playing a sectional title, maybe Renaissance Coliseum, instead of having to drive up to Ottawa? But Ottawa's still a good gym, though. Looking forward to being back there tomorrow, as layup is good for Anfernee Moore, freshman 6'2" forward.
Nice strong move there by Moore, as he kind of stops his EP momentum a little bit and gets the Knights on the board.
We saw it back in the last game. Peoria High jumped out, quick early lead. Limestone countered. Another feed, Moore. He's got some space, creating it. No foul. Smith Holly stayed with it. We get a whistle. I'm not sure what it's on. I think it's a foul away from the ball against the Raiders.
Well, it's pretty loud in here. I don't even know if the players heard that whistle. They just kind of kept going.
Yeah. First, I didn't think we had a whistle. And it is a playoff type environment in here. It almost feels like a sectional title, the way that this gym is packed out. So Moore will head to the line. And the theme of the night already, Brock, has been freshmen. And what a number that Peoria High's freshman group did in that last game. They had about, doing math here, they had about 50-ish, approximate number, 50 combined points for the Lions in that big 30-point win over the Rockets.
They pretty much, they outscored Limestone by themselves tonight. So, yeah, and we're going to see two more pretty good ones by the base of the look on this one with Smith Holly and Anfernee Moore as well. So just good young players throughout this sectional, really.
You love to see, just as a basketball fan, it's not like you see these teams here like, oh, well, this is going to be the only year we get to see Quentin Kitt or Marion Smith Holly. No, all of those were underclassmen, as the layup is good there from Terrell Rickman, the 6'5" senior forward and the tallest player on the Richwoods roster. Again, neither team with a distinct size advantage here tonight. Defense intensifying for Richwoods, and it forces a travel by Du Bois.
And no slouches is Richwoods student section either. They've got the left side of their bleachers packed out too, making some noise, letting Du Bois know he can't do that as he gets whistled for the travel there.
And major credit to the Knights students, the Dungeon, and East Peoria called the Tribe. Offensive foul on Richwoods. That is going to be the first on Rickman. 3 team fouls apiece so far. As Aarons inbounds it to Du Bois, who's got 4 already. Kitt the other 5. Here up top with it, here's Marsh. Knights showing, then retreating, and forcing Du Bois to go backwards. Shakes off a defender, drives in. Blocking call. A couple Knights fans stand up and say that was a charge, but just hard physical contact and a big play there from Du Bois.
Yeah, fearless there from Du Bois. Eats the contact, takes a hard little fall there, almost gets the basket to go. A good strong take there for the sophomore.
And score update from another Class 3A regional semi you can watch on ciproud.com. Metamora leading Dunlap 15-5 after the first quarter. And, anyone maybe was saying, oh, Metamora is big favorites in that one. Well, obviously a good lead at the first quarter break. But last week, we actually broadcasted those two teams facing off, and Metamora only won that one by 1 point. It shows you how good that Dunlap team is and how strong the Mid-Illini is overall. Du Bois goes 2 for 2. Although, the Metamora Redbirds in March, it's been peanut butter and jelly the last 3 or 4 years. It's just a machine.
It's crazy. That's the road to Champaign really led through Metamora the last couple of years. And Richwoods was able to slay the Dragon last year.
Yep.
Let's see if someone else is able to do it this year.
3A is, I think a lot of people would say wide open. You get Morton and Metamora, Peoria High, definitely the big dogs, but I think, whoever wins this game tonight, I think, realistically, I think has a shot to potentially win a sectional title. I'll even go as far to say that because, again, Peoria High was very good in that win. If they play anything like they did tonight, going to be a tough game. But if you can get by the Lions, I think you get a favorable sectional semi matchup against a team not really from the area. And, then, maybe you face Morton or Metamora in the regional sectional title game. And both East Peoria and Peoria High have taken some wins against those squads this season.
Good
Turnaround,
defense there.
no good there from Moore. Du Bois, here we go, 3-on-1, driving in, blocked away, Kit slams it down! The trailer sends the roof off this place. The Raiders student section is in hysterics. Wow!
Quentin Kitt cleaning the glass to effect there. Impressive hang time, good vertical to go up and sky up and get that rebound. Just put it in. Wild Du Bois finish, and Kitt's there to pick up his teammate.
That's the danger of having, 3 guys on one, not just because you can just pass it off to him and get him where the guy isn't looking, but you miss the layup, Kit can just throw it down. And electrified this gym. Bailey jumps back. Now Smith-Holly doing some work on Aarons. Back over to Bailey. Smith-Holly from way out. Short, but the rebound is long. And goes to Anthony Moore.
It was a deep shot there by the freshman. Almost got it to go, though. We've seen no lack of confidence.
Good ball movement here from the Knights, but a wild shot from Moore. Second chance, though, is good. That's Kingston Caldwell, the transfer from Dominican High School up in Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Kit driving right on Rickman. Tough shot from the elbow and got it.
Jaden Kitt showing off every aspect of his game. He hit a three, got a big putback dunk on the last 2 possessions ago, and then hits a tough fall-away mid-range jump shot with a guy in his airspace right there. Good start to the game for Quentin Kitt.
Smith-Holly still looking to get it going. He misses that. We get a foul going on Corbin Parker, number 5 in white for East Peoria. I just love the energy of this gym, Brock. Not to say that the crowd of the first game was bad. Obviously, we just had 2 teams that weren't playing in their home gyms. Peoria High won big, but now just the energy is there, and this place is alive.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that there's a trip to play for a regional title on the line with the way these fan bases have showed up. I've been cheering so far. I mean, we'll mention it again, I'm sure, but I mean, this place is pretty jam-packed, and I mean, it is going to get pretty loud in here. We heard it on that Quentin Kitt dunk. I mean, East Peoria sideline just exploded.
Second one missed, so it's 15-10 Raiders. We work through the first quarter here. Marsh feeds it off to Aarons, who traveled with it, and he is in disbelief.
East Peoria's had a couple of those. Just unforced errors, gotten called for a couple of travels to give the ball back to the Knights. Let's see if Richwoods is able to capitalize on this one.
Smith-Holly will set things up. Really excited to see what his ceiling is when he continues to grow. Just a freshman for Richwoods. Now after tonight, Brock, there's so many players that we just saw just tonight you could say is maybe the best freshman in the city as the shot is up and good. Or no, they're going to call that off. Look at some indecision there from the referees.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of let them play through it there. The ball went through the net, and then you kind of heard the referee's whistle come through, waved it off for a travel. East Peoria student section certainly wanted it to be a travel, and they got rewarded with that call.
A hard screen set there by Marsh. You nearly fell over. Smith-Holly with some great defensive pressure and a takeaway. Good hands there from Moore. Now Bailey Euro stepping, floating. Kit with the miss. Here we go. Feed up to Du Bois, and he just lays it in. And William Smith having some honest explanation from our men in stripes here. I'm not really quite sure what. I saw the layup there.
I mean, it kind of looked like Richwoods didn't know the play was going on. It kind of looked like that was just kind of a throw-it-up shot on the other end. East Peoria gets a run out. Obviously, Richwood fans not have a little bit of confusion. I mean, it's so hard to hear whistles right now.
I was going to say, it may have been this place is so loud. Maybe there was an errant whistle that Richwoods heard that we did not hear, and they may be stopped. Yeah, Du Bois was wide open there on that layup, so maybe Richwoods kind of heard the whistle and gave up on the play, but we'll see what happens as they sort things out. Again, fun action here from East Peoria. Glad you're with us on CSM. Tell your friends and family to tune in for some great basketball. This one should shape up to be a good one. And we want to thank our great sponsor for tonight, Domino's. From now until March 2nd, you can get any crust, any topping pizza if you order online for, look at that, $9.99. What a deal from our friends over there at Domino's. Definitely encourage you to take advantage of that. Again, online only from now until March 2nd. A little bit of a pseudo timeout. Both teams a chance to catch their breath. And again, Brock, the way the pace has been going so far, it's been fast-paced like we saw in the first game. And I think that right now that favors Richwoods a bit just because they have more depth and maybe they got a little bit more in the tank.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, breakneck pace for both teams. They're grabbing rebounds and they are just flying up the court. Like what you said, John. I mean, when you look at Richwoods, this roster does go significantly deeper than East Peoria. So foul trouble, dead legs late in the game. I mean, that's going to play into Richwoods' factor.
So out of that little powwow there, it's decided that Richwoods is shooting free throws. It'll send Kingston Caldwell to the line. I'm not exactly sure how that occurred. It happened out of my view. Maybe he got fouled away from the layup by Du Bois. So either way, a chance to get the two back, but he misses number one.
And then I think I heard the referee at the table say something about a whistle wasn't heard, so I think that has something to do with this whole sequence right here, the last couple minutes of this game.
Maybe they said, okay, hey, we shouldn't have blown that. Our fault, we'll give you two free throws. I don't really know what goes on quite down there. But Caldwell goes 1 for 2, and nevertheless, it's a 6-point lead here for the Knights. Du Bois will bring it up. Amir Muhammad Williams into the game for the Richwoods, and look at his defense. All over Du Bois, covering him like a blanket. Richwoods wants a 5-second call, and they're going to get a foul against him instead. With 14.6 to go, and that'll send East Peoria to the line. That's the 5th of this first frame.
I mean, Muhammad Williams, that is some very impressive on-ball defense there on Du Bois. I mean, he is quick with the basketball. Muhammad Williams just would not be denied there. Stuck with him every step of the way, every dribble move. But Du Bois rewarded with a pair of free throws. But Johnny, you mentioned it before the game, how good East Peoria is at shooting free throws. I mean, they've shown it so far here in this first quarter.
Back to Muhammad Williams, who just checked out. Du Bois finishes it off there. He goes 2 for 2. He's got 10. Kit has the other 9. No one else has scored for EP. Muhammad Williams transferred from Peoria Quest, school that closed down after last year. Richwoods has got to shoot. Smith Holly in the corner. Got it to go! What a shot from the freshman to end this first frame.
Half double clutch out of the corner there from the freshman. Knocks it down. Big shot there from Richwoods. As a freshman has another shining moment here at the end of the first quarter for the Knights.
First ever points in the postseason for Amarion Smith Holly, at least the IHSA postseason. Honestly, did plenty of work in middle school last year, but while I got a quick break, I want to thank our great friends over again at Domino's for sponsoring tonight's broadcast and making it possible. Again, you see that deal now until March 2nd. Any crust, any toppings, $9.99 each. You can get multiple on Domino's.com. And you got to order it online, but you can get carry-out or delivery from there. Again, our out-of-town score check, our John Camosa at Metamora and Dunlap. He saw Morton win big over Galesburg 63-24, and now Dunlap has cut the deficit 17-13 with 2:44 to go in the second. That game a few minutes ahead of ours. And you can watch that one live hit for free by our other crew at ciproud.com. Also have a link to that on the front page of our website as well.
Boy, it sounds like that's a rock fight going on in Dunlap, 17-13 second quarter.
That is a gritty Dunlap team, and one that is much better than their record shows. A lot of people say, okay, you got Mac Sutter, and Mac is certainly a a great basketball talent, offers a lot of size, but they have a lot of young guys too. You talk about the youth movement in Peoria. You know, Ryder Renette, Gavin Gibbs, some names to keep an eye on for Dunlap. There's just so much good young talent. And it's that next generation starting to come through, and a lot of familiar names we'll be calling over the years. Foul on the floor. It will go on Stan Horton. As Parker comes back in for the Raiders. Smith Holly inbounds it to Marlon Heron, who's still looking for his first bucket. They found a wide open Bailey. The doors quickly close. Heron, Euro steps. Floater too strong into the hands of Parker, and now East Peoria will get the run out. DuBois, double clutch. That may have prevented him from scoring that one, I think.
Kind of think he thought he was going to get fouled there. The contact never came, just left it short on the layup, but I mean, pretty athletic move there to get downhill that quick for DuBois. Just left it short, anticipating the contact. Good on Richwoods not fouling.
So Richwoods, you know, they were definitely on the wrong side of some momentum in that first quarter, but they can get it back to a one-possession game here with the bucket here.
And Heron got a good look the last time, too. Passed up the three for an even better little mid-range.
And a glorified pass from Smith Holly to Caldwell. At least that's what Smith Holly will say. Count that as an assist for me, he says. And Caldwell finished that through contact. He'll get one more.
Yeah, just using every bit of that 6'4" size to go up and get that air ball there. Put it in through the harm. Impressive little sequence there for Caldwell for the Knights.
Foul went on Mason Isaacs. That's number 2 for him. Caldwell, high arcing free throw, and drops in nicely.
Well, and Richwoods hit some gold last year when they had a transfer come in by the name of Somerville. Maybe they're hoping that Caldwell can bring them some of that magic too, make another run in March.
You know, most high schools in the area don't see too many transfers, but one team that's definitely been brought in the most transfers over the last few years has been Richwoods. They had obviously the big kahuna, Lathan Somerville. Now at Rutgers, DuBois a deep triple. Rebound to Aarons. They also got Daquan Little, a former Peoria High Lion sharpshooter on their team last year. Nice look from Aarons. That's the first bucket by a Raider not named DuBois or Kit. And they also, again, this year they got Caldwell, they got the Quest transfers, Muhammad Williams and Lawrence Sims, as they find the freshman Moore down low. So they just brought in, Richwoods has players from all sorts of different areas, freshmen transfers, JV guys, you name it. They've all come together and had a good season for the Knights.
Absolutely. I mean, huge when you can just kind of go.
Kit has been huge so far. 12 for him, he bangs it from the corner.
Now, when you can develop your own talent and then kind of go pick what you need to complete a roster, and it certainly worked out very well for Richwoods.
This one has been getting really good so far. High-level basketball on both sides. Beautiful pass to Caldwell.
I mean, Craven Bailey just snapped that lefty pass there right to Caldwell. Easy bucket, good cut by Caldwell. Couple very nice possessions in a row here for Richwoods.
Caldwell's a senior for Richwoods. This is his only year suiting up in their green and white. His other high school, Dominican, who is also colored green and white too, but he's hoping that his career not coming into an end here tonight.
Kit
going for the step back three. That would have set this place into hysteria, but instead Richwoods with a chance to tie.
Caldwell working on Kit now, gets right to the rim.
And fed it to Moore, but he couldn't grab the handle. The ball was on the deck, we'll get a jump, and that favors the Raiders.
Well, and there's been some high-level passing from Richwoods here. The freshman, Smith Holly's had some nice passes. Craven Bailey's had some nice passes, and Caldwell dropped a dime right there to Moore. He just couldn't hang on to it.
Now, Raiders will have a chance to extend their lead. Feels like they should be closer to halftime, Brock. Feels like this game should be around that point, but 4:40 to go. Hey, more basketball, we're not complaining. Aarons, a nice drive. Shot was altered by Rickman. Kit missed the second chance. Knights get out and run with no numbers. Muhammad Williams stayed aggressive and laid it in. He has got one speed, and that is turbo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he got that and took off. He was to the rim in a blur. Tough finish, too, when you're moving that fast through some contact.
Kent lost it on the spin move. Richwoods with the chance to take the lead. Smith-Holly creates space and nothing but net. What a shot. Knights lead and timeout on the floor.
And that got these Richwoods fans on their feet. Smith-Holly just eats some contact there from Du Bois, flips it up at the rim, nothing but net. Impressive sequence there for Richwoods. Getting out and running and then just beating your man one-on-one.
What impresses me so much about Smith-Holly is he just looks so comfortable out there. He's so smooth with the ball, and him just being a freshman. Yeah, that shot just looked like someone who's made those shots before, has played in these types of games before, and again, just in his first year for Richwoods. So the Knights, a little bit of a run going on here. East Peoria, I think, led by as many as, I think, 7 or 10 around there. I can't remember exactly. Help me out, Brock. Do you remember?
It was, yeah, like I think it was 7 was about the highest lead that East Peoria built up. And then, I mean, Richwoods just kept chipping away, hit that big 3 to end the first quarter. And now they've taken their first lead of the game.
That was Smith-Holly's first bucket. You just saw his second. Kit driving in. Doesn't turn it over this time and gives the lead right back.
A little bit of back and forth action now. Kit going to work, just takes his man off the dribble. Impressive little spin move there. Tough lefty finish.
Yeah, Kit can make the easy, or the hard buckets rather, look easy. Caldwell, right, run the motion offense. Rickman screens Smith-Holly, kicks it out. Heron, open 3-ball, way off to the left in East Peoria student section. And to let him know.
Boy, and that was a good setup there by Smith-Holly too. Got Heron a wide open jumper on the corner, or from the wing, excuse me. Unable to find the bottom of the net, or really any of the net actually.
As Muhammad Williams bring that tough D back on Du Bois, and a foul called on Rickman. He was draped all over Kit, who's been really trying to get aggressive. And again, we said it before and we'll say it again, that's what this East Peoria team loves to do. I saw the Raiders recently in 2 games, one of them being their overtime win over Morton that we broadcasted here a couple weeks ago. And I think in that one, I believe they went, I want to say 28 of 32 from the line or something to that tune. And then I also saw them against Dunlap, and they were something around about the same mark approximately in that game too as well. So they shoot a ton of free throws and they make about 90 to 95% of them.
I mean, that's just such a weapon to have. I mean, you get late game situation, you just have the confidence that, hey, if we're up on the scoreboard or even down, tight game, I mean, we're able to just put a game away, get back into a game with our free throw shooting.
Kit knocks down both. He's got 16 for EP. Du Bois with 10. Aaron's the other basket. I saw with Quentin Kidd after one of those games, I think it was the Dunlap game, he said that they do a drill where if you don't shoot 80%, I think you got to make 4 out of 5 free throws, or 8 out of 10, you got to run. And you don't stop running until everyone makes 80%. So it is good free throws that run through the entire team. Bailey, Euro step, tough look, and the ball said, I'll go in. Rolls forward, goes down for 2.
That was an elite level move there by Bailey, just playing through the contact. Nice little Manu Ginobili Euro step. Tough finish though.
A big fan of Manu. Left-handers unite. Foul as Kit went up. And Richwoods has played some solid defense. It's just Kit's been receiving some contact.
Boy, and they're really throwing a lot of size at Kit too. I mean, between Rickman at 6'5", Caldwell at 6'4", and Bailey at 6'5". I mean, that's just three different guys that Richwoods can deploy. But so far, I mean, Kit is going to work, racking up the fouls and just living at the free throw line right now.
You know, Quentin Kit is one of the premier scorers in the area, and usually that comes from players that are guards, maybe like Matthew Zobrist or LaShawn Stowers to an extent, although he can kind of play forward as well as we get a timeout on the floor. But the fact that Kit is been one of the area's best scorers, again, 1,000-point scorer already, is only just a sophomore. The fact that he's doing it at the forward position, shows that he is just relentless. His team knows how to find him. He knocks down his free throws, can knock down his threes, just really a do-it-all guy. And I'm excited to see what his future is like. Quick word again for our great sponsor, Domino's. Now until March 2nd, $9.99 each. Any crust, any toppings. You heard us correctly. Order now at Domino's.com.
It's just been, it's been the Kit and Du Bois show for East Peoria. Just really not anybody else not able to get anything going for EP so far. But when you've got a top two like that, you might as well ride them as long as you can, John.
Well, and I don't think many players from East Peoria have even shot outside of Du Bois and Kit. Maybe Horton or Isaacs maybe had a look here or there, but they've been taking most of the shots, and they've been draining them. So if you're Richwoods, maybe you try and run a triangle in two, or find some way to try and take these two out of the game. Because if you can do that, you take away Du Bois and Kit, and that's a great recipe against this Raiders squad. But that's easier said than done, because just about every team that's faced them hasn't been able to do that this season. So major credit to Jarrett Brown, the head coach for the Raiders, for getting them always open.
Yeah, I'm sure we're not breaking much news saying those guys are game plan wreckers, but if Richwoods is able to do anything to slow them down, then they're going to put themselves in a great spot to survive and advance here.
That's the motto once we get to late February and early March, as Jordan Marsh picks up the foul. Heron checks out. We get our first look at Elijah Barksdale, number 12 for Richwoods. One of their only returners alongside Heron and Rauer from last season's varsity squad. Screen set, Caldwell. Three ball, we'll see Barksdale. He comes in and drains it. How about making an impact right off the bat?
Yeah, about to say, spark plug off the bench there for Richwoods. They call his number, and he rewards the coach there. Nice open jumper from the corner there, ties this baby up.
Du Bois driving to the left side, blocked away. That time it was clean from Rickman. He's been very active in defending the post. Kit driving baseline, lays it in. Thought he might slam it down, but Kit's got 20.
20 first half points for Kit is just an impressive scoring performance. My goodness, just putting the team on his back here, doing it every which way.
Crowd quiets down. Surprised they're doing so. It's the last minute or so before the half, and East Peoria just took the lead. Barksdale finds Smith Holly. Finds a step, blocked away. Good defense there from Mason Isaacs. Ball went off of a night. That was Caldwell. And a goal back to EP. Muhammad Williams back into the game for Richwoods. Love what he's done on defense so far. You need that intensity. You need that junkyard dog in these playoff games. And Richwoods has certainly had plenty of those. And Quentin Kit, Cole Du Bois, some junkyard dogs too.
Yeah, he's given Du Bois all sorts of nightmares right now. Just no easy catches, no easy looks for Du Bois.
Smith Holly says, how was that a foul? Trying to get the takeaway there, him and Rickman in that double team. That'll be the second foul on Smith Holly. Although the Raiders still not in the bonus, both teams at 4 fouls, or 3 rather. Felt like there's been more for both sides in here in the second quarter. They'll inbound it. Aarons driving baseline, and I think he carried that one. Refs called a travel, but kind of brought it over the overhand.
A couple other turnover there for EP, couple travels, that one a carry. Richwoods certainly cranking up that defensive pressure, not making it easy for them with the ball in their hands.
Knights going a little offense-defense. Barksdale in on offense. Muhammad Williams out as the defensive specialist. As the Knights will see if they'll take the last shot. It appears that they might, as Barksdale and Heron play catch at the volleyball line. What a first half this has been. This is going to be a great finish. Smith-Holly nearly gave the Knights the lead. Ahrens, we get a jump ball. How about that effort from Kingston Caldwell? The EP fans don't like it, and the arrow keeps it with the Knights. So what a play there from Caldwell.
And he just went up over Ahrens there and grabbed that to force the jump ball. I mean, deep shot there from Smith-Holly. Has the ultimate green light, though, almost knocks it down.
But his ball is tipped, and Ahrens comes away with it. He lays it in as Heron lays off. 3 seconds to go. Richwoods kicking it up at the horn. Barksdale from half court. Oh, that shot nearly hit the ceiling. That came about a hair's width away. But East Peoria takes a 4-point lead in the locker room after a nice steal and transition finish from Jackson Ahrens. But that's not burying the lead. The story of the game has been Quentin Kitt so far. His 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when they've needed a basket or a play to be made, they've just continued to go to Kitt, and he has not disappointed. He's had 20 big first half points to pace things for EP. I mean, Ahrens has got the other 4, and then it's Du Bois. So, I mean, those 3 guys, we knew that was kind of where you had to get your money if you were going to win this game if you're EP. And so far, business is planned.
Most definitely. And, even for Richwoods, I would say that even though, Kitt and Du Bois have hurt you, I still think they've defended pretty well. They've been right there. There hasn't been many easy looks for East Peoria. The Raiders have just kind of been converting. They've been really trying to lock down the paint. Some fouls called that I think that the Knights maybe weren't too fond of. But you just got to roll with the punches. And, hey, you're only down 4 right now. If you can get a plan to stop Kitt, and at the same time, you also got to worry about Du Bois. He's got 10 too. He can heat it up. So, overall, what are you looking forward to in the second half from both squads? What do you think maybe is the number one thing to talk about in each locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Richwoods, you just got to be a little bit careful at getting, toeing the line between, aggressive and then being overly aggressive. You just cannot put this East Peoria team at the foul line. I mean, felt like Kitt had at least 8 points there alone. So, I mean, Du Bois, too, living at the line. So, I mean, you just got to, obviously you don't want to just back off, not be aggressive. Keep the aggressive intensity turned up, but a little bit more safer aggressiveness where you're not just fouling and allowing East Peoria to just take, have nothing run off the clock and just rack up points at the free throw line.
For sure. And, for East Peoria, I think for them it's, they got to be wary, I think, of anyone in that second half because this is a night and day difference, Brock. East Peoria has only had 3 players score the ball. Richwoods, meanwhile, has had 8 players score. So it really could be anybody. I mean, Smith-Holly can knock down big shots. Caldwell, the team leader, with 8 right now. But we've also seen Anthony Moore with some buckets. Truman Arauer can shoot. Elijah Barksdale can shoot. Muhammad Williams can get to the rack. I mean, it's just such a multi-headed attack for Richwoods. It's hard to nail down one player to key on, but maybe just anything in a general sense, maybe one thing you'd like to improve for yourself, your own team, if you're EP.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, just that keep playing defense like that. I mean, you got burned a little bit there by Barksdale coming in off the bench. So, I mean, just got to keep locking in on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, when you've got that many guys to worry about, that anybody can get a basket, it's just so tough. And then, I mean, obviously, just keep Richwoods off the glass. They've got some pretty impressive athletes in there. Just got to do a good job boxing out, not allowing them to steal extra possessions, kind of like what you saw with Caldwell before the end of the half.
And again, I want to take a quick time out to thank our sponsor tonight, Domino's Pizza. From now until March 2nd on Domino's.com, any crust, any topping pizza is just $9.99. Or carry out or delivery. But again, that deal is online only. So head on over to Domino's.com and get in on the fun today. Get yourself a couple pizzas and sit back, watch Clutch Sports Media here this postseason. Big week of games. We were at Morton and Washington sectional semifinal up in Ottawa yesterday, audio-only broadcast unfortunately due to NFHS restrictions. But we'll be back there on Thursday, and girls action really heating up, Brock. We got 5 area teams in the Sweet 16, and DMAC facing P&D again in 2A, and Washington and Morton facing off for the 4th time this season in Class 3A. Those are 2 whales of some ball games tomorrow night.
I was going to say, I mean, you just listed a who's who of elite women's or girls basketball teams in the state of Illinois. So, I mean, just take your pick on who's going to win that one. And, I mean, it's just going to be, I mean, really no losers. And I mean, there is, but I mean, really no losers when you get quality basketball like that. I mean, just going to be awesome for the viewers to see. And, I mean, just elite level basketball over the next month.
Again, we'll have live audio-only coverage of Washington and Morton tomorrow right here on ClutchSportsIL.com on our YouTube channel. Me and Dalton Carmine will have the call from Ottawa, Kingman Gym. You ever been to Kingman Gym, Brock? It's an awesome place.
I don't get out too much. I mean, I know it was nice, the year Peoria High, the girls with Aaliyah Guyton went on their run. Just kind of seeing some of those gyms, got down to Pontiac.
Yep.
I know I helped you call the game.
Yeah, I remember that game vividly.
The game at Western a couple years ago. So it's nice just kind of getting out, seeing some of these gyms. Was introduced to Richwoods that year as well, same with P&D. So just kind of nice getting out to some of the area schools, seeing what they've got to offer.
Most definitely Kingman Gym, very fun place to call the games. That place is going to get loud too. We might have to invest in some earplugs as soon as the playoffs go along. It's been a loud one here inside East Peoria tonight. Also on the girls' side, can't forget the biggest story arguably is the Pekin Dragons who advanced to their first ever sectional title. They upset Normal Community last night, and we'll take on a very, very, very good Alton team down at Alton tomorrow. So it's going to be a tough task for the Dragons. Certainly big underdogs there, much more than what they were yesterday. But what a run for Pekin and crew over there in Class 4A. And you never know, maybe the slipper will still fit for Brett McGinnis's squad over there. Again, plenty of other coverage on CSM. We'll be back here on Friday for the regional title game. And also right now, you can give a look over at Metamora and Dunlap over that we're streaming on ciproud.com. And we'll get a score update from that one. Our John Camosa says Metamora 36, Dunlap 27 with 3:14 to go in the third quarter. Eagles cut it to 4, but Matthew Zobrist knocked down a 3, and a putback by Jonah Funk helped the Redbirds get back out in front by 9. So hats off to our crew over there in Dunlap. Hats off to our crew here in East Peoria. Mark Wagner, our producer, Ben Tapp, our guy behind the camera here tonight. Brock, what do you say? We got a couple more minutes at halftime. Let's take a look at our good old friend, the IHSA Score Zone. See if we got any scores here from our area teams. Big night of basketball. I called tonight, I was thinking this yesterday, I called tonight Black Wednesday because this is when about half of our area teams lose in the regional semifinals. As is, just a lot of area teams play a lot of area games, and pretty cutthroat once it gets to this point of the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's a lot of area-on-area crime. I mean, there's teams from the same area knocking each other out. So, I mean, just really, no sleep, no rest for the wicked here in the playoffs. But, I mean, just incredible atmospheres all around. And, I mean, just some great games already, and I'm sure plenty more great games to follow.
How about this? Bloomington Central Catholic down in 2A stays very, very hot. I think the Saints have now won 11 in a row, if memory serves me right. They take down a very good El Paso Gridley team. So the career of Micah Meese, who's one of the other area's best scorers outside of Quentin Kitt and Cole DuBois, his career comes to an end down in 2A. Also, Farmington loses big to Rockridge, 74-38. And Manual, the Rams moving on, 63-47 win over Clinton. That Manual team looking really good, and especially down in Class 2A. They're just so unique. Not many teams like Manual in Class 2A this season.
Boy, and how good of a recruiting class is Brian Wardle getting this year between Dietrich Richardson from Manual and Matthew Zobrist from Metamora. I mean, just 2 big-time area local talents for the Braves, and I'm sure are going to put up a lot of points in their career for Brian Wardle.
100%. Who knows? Maybe one day Quentin Kitt will join them as well. And also in Class 3A action, Morton taking down Galesburg big, 63-24. The last game we saw before this one, Peoria High, 74, Limestone 41. Lions moving on as well. Looking at some other games, scrolling through to see. What we got in the area, not much so far. We'll see about Class 4A, a normal community. Again, the Ironman team, very good, one that Richwoods fans know very well. We were at Richwoods a couple weeks ago for a 4 overtime game between them and normal community.
Nothing like some free basketball. That's free basketball, John. I mean, 4 overtimes is pretty crazy. I mean, hopefully some of those teachers at Richwoods and normal community the next day realize, hey, these kids had a little bit of a late night.
A little bit. Imagine having to go home and do homework after that. Wouldn't miss that. Normal community is a winner tonight, 62-49 over Normal West. So they'll play for a regional title in Class 4A. And also in some Class 1A action, Illini Bluffs a winner over North Fulton, 42-27. That game is gone final. And as all we see, at least for now, from the area teams, we'll keep you posted on some of those as we go along. And also, we will have later tonight the roundup on clutchsportsil.com/overtime, or as commonly known, CSM Overtime. You can follow your school and your stories, the ones that you care about. Daily roundups, news, feature stories, game coverage from the postseason, and plenty more. You can visit clutchsportsil.com or scan that QR code on your screen. Also, we have our Torque Fitness Athletes of the Week poll is still open from now until midnight tomorrow. So get on over and vote for there. Some great nominees for our Athlete of the Week this week, too. Don't need a subscription to vote for that either, but we're ready to go for half number 2. Thanks for sticking with us here through halftime alongside Brock Stotler. I'm Jonathan Michael, and it's East Peoria looking to extend a 4-point lead. Kit, step back on the baseline, money.
Such a tough shot there. So hard to defend if you're Richwoods. Just 2 dribbles, fade away from that short corner. That's a next level move for Quentin Kitt.
22 for the sophomore forward. Richwoods hasn't quite found an answer yet. Smith-Holly to Herod. Now Caldwell driving and spinning. Nice move to free himself up, but couldn't finish. Some confusion about who it belongs to, and it will stay with the green and white.
Yeah, everything but the finish there from Caldwell. Did all the dirty work to get to the rim and just wasn't able to convert it.
Now inbounded up to Heron. Smith-Holly in the near corner for 3, but no good, and Aarons brings in the miss. Now get a screen set by Isaacs and go left. Isaacs sets another screen. Really kind of an overlooked guy for East Peoria is Isaacs. Set those screens, and what a play drawn up there as Stan Horton lays it in for his first bucket on a beautiful feed from Du Bois.
Yeah, beautiful no-lick dish there from Du Bois. Was looking at his big man under the basket, just left it for the cutter off to the left side there.
Talk about a great pass. Nice feed from Smith-Holly to Caldwell, who's now up in double figures. Richwoods playing some man defense, and we saw a lot out of the Lions in the last game. They get it into Kitt. That's going to be a foul. I think if that's on Rickman, that would be number 4 for him, and that would be a big loss because Rickman is their biggest player and their best chance at defending, at least matching Quentin Kitt's size.
Yeah, I mean, he has just been a handful to deal with down there. I mean, he cleared out so much space there. He almost had to foul him, or that was just going to be a free basket.
See why East Peoria has been able to succeed is because, well, plays like that, Quentin Kitt just on fire right now with 24, but you play defense on him, you probably got a foul. It puts you in foul trouble. And if you get in foul trouble, then you got to lay off. And you can't foul him, and then he's just going to probably score at will.
Yeah, I mean, he is putting on an absolute show there on the move, short corner. Gets the friendly rim roll right there. Maybe if they were in a different gym, he doesn't get that, John, but home rims there.
I think Quentin Kitt definitely likes playing here at East Peoria. I've seen him in some big games here in this gym, and a great assist. And there's the first bucket for Mason Isaacs.
Boy, you saw the scoring. There was a very good find there underneath the basket. As all the attention swarmed up to Kitt, he just kind of dumps it off there.
And a great look there. Moore trying to go up and under. On a good feed from Heron, and a missed opportunity there for the Knights, and a foul in the backcourt on Muhammad Williams.
And Muhammad Williams has tried to put the clamps on Du Bois a couple times tonight. Du Bois gets the upper hand there, draws the foul, and
that's an offensive foul. Maybe a little bit of a selling job there from Muhammad Williams, who gives a big smile. But maybe he's talking some trash. Maybe there was a real push, but he flew back as student sections having some words for each other across the way. You gotta love it. Offensive foul going on there on Du Bois. That's his first foul. Muhammad Williams, oh, it just came in 100 miles an hour to Caldwell, but it stays with Richwoods. Smith-Holly, beautiful feed and a finish from Anthony Moore, freshman to freshman.
I was about to say, good little move there by Moore.
On great hands from Muhammad Williams. Now Smith-Holly against Kit, through contact, the freshman finishes.
What a sequence from Richwoods there. Smith-Holly goes right at the bigger Kit, athletic finish there through the arm. Beautiful sequence there from Richwoods. Get used to that, Knights fans.
What a treat. Smith-Holly, what a shot there, and it's a big one. You get Richwoods down to 6, make it 5. I think Richwoods might call Smith-Holly's number a few more times they come down the stretch, as Muhammad Williams daring Du Bois to challenge him, but he's got to be careful with the fouls. Kit double teamed. Aarons wide open. Corner no good. Good look, just couldn't quite finish.
A good double team there by Richwoods. Got to force the ball out of Kit's hands. Make some of these other guys beat you. Aaron's unable to do it there.
Stop and pop jumper from Smith-Holly is no good. Now here we go in transition again. Du Bois step in 3, block from behind. And guess who? It was Muhammad Williams. Du Bois is public enemy number 1 right now. Love the intensity here. Heron driving in, foul before the shot. It'll be on the floor. And against the Raider to be determined. That was on Aarons.
Boy, Muhammad Williams and Du Bois are going at it right now. This is exciting stuff. Du Bois kind of blows by him there, and Muhammad Williams comes from behind, able to get the big block.
Muhammad Williams has gotten some great minutes. Ball will go back to the Raiders. Muhammad Williams can't believe it. He'll retreat back on defense, but we'll see if he can force another TO. Kit staying aggressive. Wild shot. You cannot be serious, Quentin Kit.
Just right through the double team. Doesn't even matter. It's like there's not even anybody there.
How did he even get that shot off, much less up and in? Heron goes up and he'll get fouled. 3 fouls aside. Or rather, no, that's going to be the 4th, I believe, on East Peoria. It is. And the 3rd on Kit. I'd be cautious with his minutes now if you're head coach Jarrett Brown.
Yeah, it looks like the only thing that's going to be able to defend him tonight is those fouls.
So it's Heron to shoot free throws. He hasn't scored tonight. Well, now he has. Mark that, 9 Richwoods players that have found the bottom of the barrel so far tonight. Heron sets, shoots, too strong. Yes, every possession as we're going to travel from Du Bois. Brock, I'm just waiting on bated breath. What happens every possession is just big play followed by big play. I mean, this is Central Illinois basketball at its very best.
It is. I mean, this second half has not been quiet one time. It feels like every possession down the floor, something happens to get the crowd going here. And good force of a turnover there by Muhammad Williams.
Moore missed the shot, but somehow it stays with the Richwoods. Heron's shot had a tough angle and couldn't convert.
Boy, Richwoods has gotten a couple on the doorstep here in the second half and just been unable to convert.
And a couple unforced turnovers by East Peoria. Is Caldwell Euro stepping and spinning it in. 4-point game in East Peoria.
Now Kit kicked it off his foot. Richwoods able to capitalize.
And Moore trying to draw the charge. Layup barely goes down for Isaacs. That that press for Richwoods has brought some problems. East Peoria finally breaks it on that last possession. Smith-Holly, dangerous pass nearly taken away. Beautiful feed, Muhammad Williams to Moore. The freshman spins and scores.
Boy, and Moore's had a pretty impressive second half here so far. Made some tough finishes, played some good defense.
Anthony Moore. Now Aaron's too strong. He hasn't gotten it going from 3. Now in transition, Moore. Some contact, push back up. Volleyballed around, all the same team. Smith-Holly will reset, elevates, and knocks it down.
My goodness.
We're gonna get a timeout call, perhaps just to catch some breath. My, what a third quarter. What a shot from Smith-Holly there. It looks like Richwoods was gonna maybe squander away another opportunity, but the freshman comes up big.
Looked like they were on pogo sticks down there in the corner. They just kept jumping, tipping it around, waiting for someone to come down with it. I really thought Smith-Holly was gonna dunk that off the putback there for a second. Was unable to corral it, but impressive shot nonetheless for the freshman.
I think I would have jumped up out of my seat if the 5'11" Smith-Holly threw one down as Caldwell commits a foul on Kit. That'll be Richwoods' 4th here of this third quarter. Tell your friends and family, anyone that likes basketball, to just tune in. This is some of the best that you'll see at any level here tonight, high school, college, or NBA. And we have been on the edge of our seat the whole time. Kit gets by a man, tried to slam it in, but he got knocked out. He'll head to the line.
Ruthless intentions there from Kit. He put the ball on the deck and soared up there for the two-handed slam. Knocked away, was unable to finish the dunk, but boy, that would have been another highlight reel play for him tonight, John.
I think in a recent game against Metamora, Kit tried to throw one down against, I can't remember, it was either Jonah Funk or Matthew Zobrist. And I mean, if you have a Central Illinois high school dunk contest, I think Quentin Kit might be one of the first people you're invited. I would also invite Zobrist and Funk as well for Metamora. Kit makes both and has got 24 of East Peoria's 48, 50%. Richwoods plays a little two-man game to break the press. Moore had it poked away. Now here comes Du Bois. One-on-one. Euros past Smith-Holly, comes up short. Ball bouncing around. Aarons wins the 50-50 ball, and it's another foul on Richwoods. And William Smith puts his hands over his head, saying, man, another one? It'll be Aarons to shoot 2 as East Peoria enters the bonus. That foul goes on Anthony Moore, his 2nd. Richwoods, I gotta say though, Brock, has gotten some great contributions. That's a great time out of their freshmen. Smith-Holly and Moore have had some big ones.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they've really kind of kept pace with EP here, the two of them, in this second half so far. Matching them bucket for bucket, highlight play for highlight play.
Second one is up and in for Jackson Aarons, who's got 5. Raiders bring back that press. Craven Bailey with it now. He's been quiet on the score sheet tonight. Smith-Holly's got a wide open man. It's Moore. Now he finds him for the easy deuce.
Yeah, good patience there by the freshman, not to get excited there. Just realized his teammate was wide open, delivered a pass he could catch.
Offensive foul on Kit.
Good defense there. That's Craven Bailey. He gets the better end of Kit there. And that's going to be 4 on Kit. That's a big foul.
That is correct, Brock Stotler. And that will draw plenty of boo as Kit is now got to sit, I would imagine, for at least probably the next 3 to 4 minutes of game time. You need him down the stretch. But if not, I'm sure Cole Du Bois will be ready to trade a big bucket or 2 as well.
Well, and this is going to be such a critical stretch for Richwoods in that next 3 to 4 minutes. Try and take a lead here, get some momentum back.
And pound the paint with Kit out. Herring converts through contact. He's got a chance to tie it up at 49.
Right on cue. Herring must have heard me up here, gets right to the rack, draws the foul. Sends this Richwoods crowds into a bit of a frenzy here as he's got a chance to tie this one up.
So Herring went 1 for 2 at the line last time. Chance to knock one down here. Heron, a senior, and playing for his high school basketball life tonight. He's got it. Tied ball game with 1:12 to go in the third quarter. Richwoods, can they go on a run with Kit on the bench with 4 fouls? Aarons is in some trouble. Back over to Du Bois, and look who's back in. It's Muhammad Williams on him. Du Bois driving and scooped. Foul. The block was 100% clean, I thought. I think the foul may have came before that. Either way, it's going to be 2 free throws for EP. But what a block there. I think that may have been Moore who got in on there.
Yeah, soared up. Certainly looked clean from up here. And boy, I mean, Cole Du Bois is taking some hard falls tonight in some of these finishes. I mean, what a tough kid. I mean, just hops right back up there. Certainly a bit of a scary fall there. Hops back up right to the free throw line.
So now this is going to be his time to shine with his star sophomore companion on the bench. Knocks down number 1.
And boy, I mean, Muhammad Williams has really been giving him some fits. I mean, they just stopped having him bring the ball up the floor altogether the last couple possessions here.
And Du Bois had 10 early on. And, Kit was about matching him about bucket for bucket for his team. But, then it just really became Kit just scored almost every time down for the Raiders. Now it's Du Bois' turn. Under a minute to play. How does Richwoods approach it? They'll drive in. Craven Bailey, kick out. Smith Holly in front of his own bench. Nice patience for the Knights. Don't need to force it here when you can have the last shot before the third. Here's a 3-ball from Moore and the lead. Anthony Moore, the freshman, has got a team-high 15. His team's got the lead.
Big shot there from Moore. He turned around, looked back, pumped up there. Massive shot for the freshman.
Isaacs hands off. Du Bois has got an open paint, drives in, and another foul call. And Richwoods is just throwing their hands up in the air right now. They cannot believe it. They've gotten some blocks, but I think there's been some contact with the body before the blocks have actually happened. That's my best explanation.
Yeah, I mean, Du Bois is just kind of floating it up there, leaving it up there for the block. But I mean, you go flying into him on the block, and I mean that's going to draw the whistle. So I mean, Du Bois is certainly happy to be at the foul line. It's like we said, I mean, he has just taken some licks so far.
He is going to need to rest up for sure after this one. Take an ice bath and just recoup and recover. Marlon Heron picked up that foul for Richwoods, so that's 3 on him. Barksdale back in, a shooter for Richwoods. And Du Bois will try and give the lead right back to his squad. It does. 53-52. Fasten those seatbelts, folks. We are in for a doozy of a finish. Here's Smith Holly. Aaron with 5, with 4. Smith Holly has got to shoot soon. Spins, wild shot, no good. Had that buzzer beater 3 to end the first quarter. Can't get it to go down that time. But what a third quarter of action, Brian. 53-52, and the Raiders have the lead.
Oh my goodness, I mean, those freshmen for Richwoods stepping up big there. Matched Kit pretty much himself bucket for bucket. Obviously he goes out there and Du Bois kind of picks up the slack there, gets to the free throw line where he's been really comfortable. I mean, we're going to be in for 8 more minutes of just high action, high class basketball here, John.
I want to take a quick word again to thank our sponsors and makes our broadcast tonight possible. Domino's Pizza. You can take advantage of their great deal from now until March 2nd. Any pizza with any crust or any toppings is $9.99 each if you order online now at Domino's.com. It's the place to go. ClutchSportsIL.com also the place to go as well. And I love Domino's. I just can't think of enough, but you might not want to go to Domino's.com until the end of this one. Keep it tuned here on CSM's YouTube channel or ClutchSportsIL.com, wherever you're watching. We're glad you're with us here tonight. Thanks for tuning in. You've seen some great basketball so far, and it's only going to get better. Kit with 4 fouls really just changes the game a lot for East Peoria right now, especially on the defensive end. We saw Herring just take it right up into the paint.
I mean, he hasn't really been blocking a ton of shots, but he's been contesting everything. And I mean, you saw, Jerry said immediately, just you have that big tree out of the middle of the lane. It opens everything up for your guards to drive to the basket.
Place your bets, folks. When does Kit come back into the game for East Peoria? Bailey Shot fake to draw an open look. Couldn't get it to go. Isaacs corrals the board. And Du Bois brings it up.
And that's a tough matchup for Du Bois if they're going to have Craven Bailey guarding him like that. I mean, that's 6'4" on a guard there. Going to be real tough.
Open man is Corbin Parker. That would have been a huge shot for Parker off the bench. Now Richwoods outnumbered 1-on-4. Bailey driving in. We get a foul on the floor. I think that one's going on Isaacs. That would be number 3 for him. So Richwoods a chance to get the lead right back. Heron tied it up with an and one. And Moore gives the lead right back. Second time that Moore has gotten his team back out in front.
What a strong, strong finish and catch there from Moore on the baseline out of bounds there.
Du Bois step in 3. We didn't quite have the strong base to release that one. 2-on-3. Smith Holly stop and go into the lane through contact. You got it.
These freshmen are putting on a show, John. Smith Holly, athletic move, getting right to the rim. Good finish.
Richwoods by 3. They got the momentum right now. They can make it as much as 6. Smith Holly again. Richwoods by 5.
I mean, he just is not able to be guarded right now by these EP defenders. Just blowing right by guys, getting right to the rack.
Nearly a turnover there as Jared Brown senses some trouble. Calls timeout with 6:25 to go. It has been the best season in nearly 30 years for the Raiders, but the harsh truth is that it does not matter if, at least in the playoffs, if you can't keep on winning. Much respect to what Jared Brown and what this program has done. They're going to be a major, major problem in the middle lineup for the next few years, and we might even see a changing of the guard. Maybe even East Peoria takes over Morton or Metamora atop the conference, but again, this is a team that does not want to squander this great season they've been having. They got to find a way to come back with Kit with 4 fouls.
Yeah, you want to end a good season like this with at least a piece of hardware, whether that's a regional title, a sectional title, or a place finish in state. But I mean, yeah, it would really hurt for them to go home here, and but there's certainly stuff to build on. But I mean, you kind of feel like it doesn't mean anything without a piece of that hardware, John.
And you definitely don't want to go home in the first game in front of your home crowd in the playoffs. Looking ahead briefly is really quick to Friday. Peoria High has faced both of these teams this season. They beat Richwoods 63-57 back in mid-December. They also beat Richwoods in the game that we saw 64-49 in mid-January. Back on January 2nd, however, the Lions lost to East Peoria 71-66. So there's really no good matchup for the Lions because you know what they say, it's hard to beat a team 3 times if they had to face Richwoods. We're hearing that phrase quite a bit in the postseason. Du Bois, nice move to get free. Kit is back into the game. Can't lay it in, but the rebound is there. It's Horton.
East Peoria starting to get some big contributions from those other guys. Horton, good follow there off the missed 3 from Kit.
Some of these players only have 6 minutes left in their high school career, and they don't even know it. Again, the brutal reality of the playoffs, but someone's going to be taking a hard-earned win into Friday. Here's Bailey driving baseline, finding Moore, the freshman. Who else?
I mean, East Peoria just doesn't have an answer for Moore and Smith Holly right now. They're breaking them down off the dribble, finding passing lanes.
They've combined for 33 so far tonight, and Kit can't really play aggressive in the post. He's got 4 fouls. He'll drive in here, and he'll head to the line. Good take, and those were falling for him through contact earlier today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like I said, John, the biggest thing is going to be on that defensive end. He just has lost all ability to, take a chance. That you can't take any more chances on defense.
So just resetting briefly for you. East Peoria's 5 on the floor as Kit, a rare miss, is Horton, Aarons, Kit, Du Bois, and Isaacs. Richwoods is 5 on the floor is Smith Holly, Heron, Moore, Caldwell, and Bailey. Number 2 is up and good for Kit. He's got 29, knocking on the door of 30. Now if you're Richwoods, again, you don't need to force anything. Don't beat yourself right here.
No, I mean, you've been getting whatever you wanted the last 3-4 minutes on offense. Put the balls in the hands of the two freshmen, let them go make some plays.
Heron wants it on the far side, but Bailey didn't see him. Now Heron gets it. Feeds Caldwell, double teamed against Kit. Doesn't get the roll though. Big shot there for East Peoria. DuBois penetrates. Going in on Heron. Aarons on Heron. A little rhyme game there, and Heron is down after he committed the blocking foul, and I think that's going to send Aarons to the line.
A tough take there. Impressive pass out of the post there from Cole DuBois. Got up in the air, able to find Aarons out there on the left wing, and he just takes it right to the rack, right through the contact. One of those 50-50 calls, letting the referee call it, and this one goes EP's way.
That goes on Heron. Obviously, it's fourth foul for him. Aarons is good on number one. Back to a one-score game. 4:51 to go here in the fourth quarter. This one's been really tight throughout. Looked like East Peoria might be in store for a big win when Kit started exploding in that first quarter. They led by nearly 10, but Richwoods has come back and showed incredible fight tonight. Here's Bailey, guarded by DuBois. Aaron got past Kit and lays it in.
Nice move there by Heron. He's missed a couple right on the doorstep. Wasn't going to be denied.
Oh,
that
DuBois,
time,
a little shot to create some space. Maybe a push there. Aarons goes up. It will go off of a Knight.
Boy, maybe the most open look DuBois has had all night on that little push-off step back there. Got a world of space freed up and was just unable to knock it down.
So it's a 4-point lead for Richwoods, who trailed for,
look at Moore,
a majority of this one, and look who it is. It's Anthony Moore. Richwoods is leading because of players like him and of players like this guy, Amarion Smith-Holly, but he bounced it off of his foot. That's going to be, no! They say it deflected off of East Peoria. William Smith calls a timeout right in front of the ref's face, and Jarrett Brown, none too pleased for the Raiders. That was a close call. I couldn't tell it from up here in the booth. You had to rewind that one to see if it really did touch a Raider or not. Tough spot to be a referee right now. Every call is under so much scrutiny at this point of the game.
I was going to say, I mean, one call here or there can swing this game, and I mean, they've been under fire tonight for sure. I mean, it almost looked like Smith-Holly kind of expected that to be off of his shoe, kind of stopped there, was just going to let it go out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to let it run out some clock, but said, oh, well, we'll take the ball right back. And you saw Smith call timeout, perhaps to just try and keep possession and not let the refs, talk it over and say, okay, that was the wrong call, give it back to East Peoria. But, man, what could this final 4 minutes have in store? Kidd has got 29 for East Peoria. DuBois has got 14. Smith-Holly with 14 for Richwoods. Caldwell, 12. Anthony Moore with 19. I feel like for Richwoods, Brock, I feel like it's been each player's kind of taken over a different quarter. It was Caldwell in the first, was Muhammad Williams in the second, it was Smith-Holly in the third, and now in the fourth, and also part of the third, it's been Anthony Moore.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just different guys stepping up when you need them most. And it's just been a great team effort here tonight from Richwoods to build a nice little 4-point lead. All of them offer a little something different too. Smith-Holly been so dynamic off the dribble. Caldwell been a monster in the post. Same with Moore as well.
Most definitely. And Moore's been able to thrive when Kit has been in foul trouble, and ever since he picked up that fourth. Smith-Holly has an open shot, passes it up. Richwoods content to milk some clock here and keep possession. Moore, the hot hand, knocks it down. Anthony Moore's got 21 in his first career high school playoff game.
And that two-man game with Smith-Holly and Moore has just been special so far.
Three on the way from DuBois, and the answer.
EP needed that one bad, needed that one very badly. And DuBois answers. Huge shot there from the sophomore.
East Peoria not done yet, but they definitely need to stop. Richwoods has converted at a high level. Smith-Holly for three! Back and forth we go in East Peoria.
Got ourselves a shootout here. Du Bois on one end, Smith-Holly on the other. Anything you can do, I can do a little bit better. Big shot there by Holly.
Now does East Peoria go back and try and counter with a three? Kid's gonna try one. He got fouled through and made it. He's got a chance for 4. 32 tonight for Kit, and that gets him back to a 3-point game. Could be 2. Unbelievable basketball here. This is only the regional semifinals.
I can't believe it. I'm up here shaking my head, got a smile on my face. I mean, what an impressive display of shot making we've seen really all night, but especially here in the last 3 minutes of this game.
Kid, after he drained that shot, you probably heard me. I'm just at a loss for words. I don't know what to say. What a shot from Quentin Kit. That foul went on, they indicated it on the scoreboard, number 20. Unless that was Keontae Pollard. I didn't see he got in the game for Richwoods, but that's besides the fact. It's a 2-point game, and now Richwoods needs to respond. Beautiful feed, and Caldwell, high arcing shot.
Right. Smith-Holly again in that pick and roll. This time it's Caldwell as the recipient of a beautiful dump-off pass there for the wide open finish, but just some high-level offense by Richwoods' freshman point guard.
Kent lost it. Here comes Heron. Aaron's behind him, and Heron's got it. Richwoods by 6, under 2 minutes to play. Here we go. Knights fans coming alive. East Peoria fans anxious, and they'll get a timeout with 1:51 to go. Richwoods seemingly converted on every trip down the floor.
Cannot get a stop right now. And they kept answering back. Big steal there by Heron. Big tough finish as well to get this lead back out to 6. He's had a really nice second half.
He really has. Only 8 points for him, but he's got some clutch buckets for him. And for Moore too. Again, multiple baskets to give his team the lead. Caldwell has got 14. Smith-Holly is some great assists too. We haven't been tracking our assist numbers, but he's got to have at least probably 4 or 5 tonight.
I mean, if he's either had to have scored or assisted on at least easily the last 6 or 7 Richwoods possessions. I mean, the ball's always in his hands. Their offense is running through him. And I mean, you just got to let your best players cook at a time like this, John, and Richwood certainly is.
East Peoria really needing to get some stops. They'll have the ball coming out of this timeout. They have 2 timeouts left, Richwoods with 3. If East Peoria wants to play the foul game later on, they would need to commit 4 more to send Richwoods to the stripe. Just 1 foul for them right now. So maybe that helps you right now. Maybe it hurts you later on. Who knows? As Du Bois will trigger this inbound right in front of the scorer's table. It's got to be him or Kit taking a shot, and it is Du Bois. He got it. Cold-blooded from the sophomore.
Couple big shots for Cole Du Bois here for EP. Back to a 3-point lead. Raiders have got to lock in and get a stop here, though.
A Clutch Sports Media classic brewing here in East Peoria. Heron scampers into the lane. EP wants to travel. Heron's shot off the glass and in. 5-point game. Heron really pumped up about that one, and a good roll. That one could be a big one that decides this one.
And he got mobbed by some of his Knights teammates there too. They knew how big of a shot that was. Boy, I mean, one end it's Du Bois for 3, and then you just can't, EP just is unable to get a stop right now on the defensive end of the floor as Richwoods high level shot making from them.
Most definitely. Heron with 4 clutch ones for the Knights, trying to keep his career alive. Again, the seniors for this Richwoods team, not a ton, but they do have some. Lawrence Sims, we haven't seen him tonight. Bailey Barksdale, Muhammad Williams, who just checked back into the game. Terrell Rickman gave some good minutes on defense, was in some foul trouble. Marlon Heron. So, and Truman Rauer as well for Richwoods. Trying to extend their careers by a game for East Peoria. Again, a relatively pretty young team this Raiders squad is. Looking at who they've got, their only senior is Andrew Horton. And also Corbin Parker too, my apologies. So Horton and Parker trying to keep their careers alive, but it's probably going to be in the hands of their sophomores, Kit and Du Bois, who have carried East Peoria to their most successful season since 1998.
And Richwood head coach William Smith saw Du Bois make a couple of tough threes. They put their defensive stopper right back on him.
Dangerous pass goes to Du Bois. He missed it. Big rebound, Smith. Holly, a foul. I think is going to go on Aarons. He eventually came away with it. And the Raiders not too happy about that one. Aarons is second, team second. Jarrett Brown talking things over with the stripes. William Smith making a T motion. He wants a technical foul, but just what a game this has been. So physical on both ends of the court. And I think there actually was a T as Marlon Herron is getting ready to shoot free throws on the other end. Our camera over there to show that. So I did not see the T call there, but there was one called on the Raiders. So now Herron will shoot two. That drastically changes this. Brock, you figure East Peoria may foul, or just to get the ball back, but now you get the two free throws and you get the possession.
Yeah, you got to kind of, certainly some decisions to be made here, and I almost think you might be better off fouling, letting Richwoods try and beat you at the free throw line, because they just have been unable to get any stops here when they've needed them in this fourth quarter.
So it's a 7-point lead. Richwoods on the verge of, I wouldn't call this an upset, Brock. Maybe some people might, but we see this Richwoods team and what they can do.
And this is certainly Richwoods at their best here. And they are going to be a tough out in these playoffs if they are able to hold on here and move on.
You got to be careful, though, again, because we've seen Du Bois and Kit make some crazy tough and clutch shots. We got a foul there on, that was Parker. That's number 4 on EP, so one more will send Richwoods to the line. Get it inbounds to Herron. Bailey dribbles pass. Feed to Moore, shot fake, and smartly bringing it back out. What a great mature decision from the freshman there. And it'll send Herron, who was just at the stripe, back there for 2 more. Wonderful play from the Knights.
It would have been so easy for Moore to just go up like that. Aarons was over his head. You just take the contact, get to the free throw line, run some more time off the clock, gets it out to Herron on the three-point line. Like you said, John, that's just a veteran play right there from your freshman.
So Herron will shoot 2 as some Raiders fans head for the exit. This one not done yet, but what a job this Richwoods team has done in a close game. And we saw them in a close game. Saw East Peoria in a close game too recently. And I think that close game experience has certainly helped the Knights this season. And it's been a true team effort. It really has. As Herron misses the second, 8-point game. East Peoria just needs a quick bucket. Screen set of Muhammad Williams. Du Bois finds Aarons. He can't get a shot off. Over to Kent. Great hands. Bailey forced the turnover. And the airmailed pass will send it back to the Raiders. But nice job by Richwoods, making it hard for East Peoria to get a shot off.
What a defensive possession there. You thought Aarons was going to get the look from 3. Quick recover makes him hesitate. Then he's got no space to get it off. Then they force the turnover on Aarons, trying to feed it to Kent.
We had a foul there. They're going to call it on Muhammad Williams. And the ball laid, I think got stuck in between the rim and the backboard there on the other end.
What a hard screen that was, too.
Oh, yeah,
right there at center court.
And looks like we're going to, Muhammad Williams is at the free throw line for Richwoods. Again, didn't see, looked like he was having to shoot technical free throws, but I don't think there was a tech. So Muhammad Williams comes out. And they're going to say that foul was on the Raiders. So it's back to the Knights. Aarons commits the foul on Herron. Not the guy you want to see at the stripe if you're East Peoria. They're Richwoods that much closer to setting up a all Peoria Regional title. Gonna be lots of fun regardless of who wins this one on Friday. Aaron is good on number 1. He's got 14.
Boy, and if Richwoods is able to beat Peoria High on Friday night, I mean, this is going to be one of the best 3-year stretches in quite a while for this team. That would mean 3 regional titles.
Yeah.
And a trip to the state finals last year.
Unbelievable. What a job for William Smith. But the bare cupboard is going to take Richwoods back to a regional title game as Du Bois got fouled on a wild 3 there. So he'll shoot 3. Richwoods students chant, "This is our house," and some stunned East Peoria students on the other side. You got to feel for this Raiders team, Brock. You feel like this might have been their year, and unless they can come up with a miracle, it's going to end maybe a bit shorter than some would have expected, but that's just the reality of playing basketball in Central Illinois. You're going to get a good team regardless in the playoffs.
There's no such thing as an easy draw. The end of February, beginning of March on these playoffs, and I mean, East Peoria, on paper, record-wise, looked like the better team for much of the season. But when it comes down to here, I mean, that Richwoods offense just clamped up, or didn't clamp up, just could not be stopped, and was able to force EP into some tough shots and just made some even tougher ones of their own.
So Du Bois makes his first 2. Again, we have seen crazier things. East Peoria, as many Raiders fans may know, was down by 12 to Pekin in a game not too long ago with under 2 minutes to play, came back and forced overtime thanks to some heroics from Du Bois and Kit. So it's got to start, though, with a turnover or some missed free throws for the Knights. It'll be Caldwell to inbound. Kit guarding him. Caldwell trying to find Smith Holly. Dangerous pass, but gets it over to him. And Smith Holly will go to the line. Incredible balance from Richwoods scoring the ball. I think that's been the biggest difference maker in this one. 17 for Smith Holly, 14 for Caldwell, 15 for Heron, and 21 for Moore. You know, Quentin Kidd, I think, has been the player of the game. He's got 33, but outside of him and Du Bois, who's got 23, not much for East Peoria tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the second half that Smith Holly and Moore have had, even Heron too, I mean, they have put up some good numbers here in the second half to build this lead for Richwoods. Made some timely shots. Smith Holly with a big 3, Moore with a big 3. Heron's had a couple strong takes at the rim to kind of halt some EP momentum just when it looked like they were getting their feet back underneath of them.
Du Bois lays it in after a desperation 3 from Kit. Timeout taken by the Raiders. 19.4 to go. Raiders will have 1 timeout remaining. And again, if this hangs on, it would be Richwoods versus Peoria High for the East Peoria Regional title. We failed to mention to you earlier that Metamora beat Dunlap in their game tonight. Final score from that one, 55-40. So it's Metamora and Morton at the Dunlap Regional title. That is going to be a phenomenal game too. Take your pick, folks. Give you some great basketball action, and we'll have the regional title here at EP live and for free here on CIProud.com. So Caldwell to inbound. We get a foul before, actually timeout by William Smith. So this one grinds to a halt. Want to thank all of our great crew soldiering through a long night of basketball. Brock Sattler alongside me, Jonathan Michael, Mark Wagner, our producer, Ben Tapp behind our camera. 2 action-packed games. One a little bit closer than the other. Peoria High, obviously, big win over Limestone. But based off of what you've seen here tonight, Brock, I mean, I think you got to throw the records out the window. I think it's a coin flip game on Friday between Richwoods and Peoria.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at, I mean, if the freshmen for Richwoods show up again on Friday night like they have tonight, and you get timely contributions from guys like Heron, Caldwell, Barksdale made a big 3 in the first half. I mean, that team Richwoods is going to be very, very tough to beat because they have some legitimate size. A couple 6'5" guys, a couple 6'4" guys that can just defend shots at the rim, throw bodies at your best player. Even if it's not effective, They're still kind of scoring, just getting those different looks. I mean, Richwoods is going to be a very, very, very tough out.
And the key for Peoria High is don't get LaShawn Stowers in foul trouble, because he very much kind of plays a similar role to Quentin Kitt. They're both kind of lengthy, positionless players, leading scorers, can knock down shots from anywhere, and also big post defenders too. So Heron lost it. And go back to the Raiders. Hold on, folks. This one not over yet. EP to inbound in a tough spot right in the corner. It'll be Du Bois. Keep an eye on him, though. Sometimes the inbounder is the most dangerous. Into Parker. Back to Du Bois. Screen on Muhammad Williams. Du Bois for three. No good. Put back. Horton not there. Kitt is good that time. And a timeout with 8 seconds to go. I don't know, Brock. You get a steal on the inbound. Maybe get a quick foul and some misses.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you never know.
East Peoria took a couple seconds off the clock there as Aarons went to go take it off the dribble. But yeah, I mean, definitely not over yet. I mean, good big turnover forced there by them in the corner. Really tough spot to inbound. Good little play there to at least salvage some points there. 8 seconds left here. You imagine you need a couple more steals.
You just got to throw a safe pass if you're East Peoria.
Yep.
You can't throw this a high floating pass. You need to just chuck it deep. Maybe let a guy get a run out or something of that nature. So you just can't throw it into trouble. You can't really throw it into the corner because Richwood's probably going to trap it.
And it looks like they'd kind of been doing that with Muhammad Williams, just kind of set him on a streak down the sideline, trying to get open. They do it again there. Well defended, though, by EP.
And they get it in quickly, and only 0.8 seconds come off the clock. Heron jogs back down, eager to get back to the line, and he'll set up shop. Foul there going on Horton, I believe. And that is number 5 for him. So Horton fouls out with 4 points, some big rebounds, and unfortunately, unless EP comes back, it looks like that'll be it for his high school career. Hats off to him. We've seen him in some big games, make some big plays for this Raiders squad. Heron misses the first. So regardless if he makes this or not, this is going to be a 2-possession game still. You got to get one really quick, though, if you're the Raiders. Heron is good on the second. 16 for him tonight. Here we go. Pass into Kitt. Gets a screen, shoots, no good. Long rebound over the head, and Richwoods, after they inbound the ball here, is going to prevail. They go on the road in a hostile environment and prevail in a tough, gritty, physical, fast-paced game, and they will play for a regional title on Friday night.
I mean, what a game. What an atmosphere all around. I mean, just big-time shot making, really on both sides. But Richwoods really just dug in there in that fourth quarter. Big shot after big shot, big stop after big stop. So many big plays, mostly by those 2 freshmen. But, I mean, contributions up and down the board. It felt like everybody that got on the floor for Richwoods tonight came up with a big play in some shape or form.
Unbelievable basketball game. Thanks for joining us on ClutchSportsIL.com. It was so fun all the way through. Your final scoring tallies for this one: Quentin Kitt with 35 for East Peoria as his sophomore season comes to a close. I can only imagine what him and Cole Du Bois are going to be doing as juniors next season. The future is so bright for EP, and they might even be potentially conference title favorites with those two coming back next year. It's going to be bright things ahead, and hats off to the Raiders on their best season since I think both me and you have been alive. I wasn't born in 1998.
Nope, I sure wasn't. And I mean, John, I think we said right at the end of the third quarter, the 3 to 4 minute stretch that Quentin Kitt was going to be out for the game was important for Richwoods if they wanted to win that game. And they were the ones that they forced a timeout, forced Jarrett Brown to put Kitt back into the game with those 4 fouls. So way to go for Richwoods to just crank up the intensity, get right to the rim, put the pressure right on EP. And I mean, they just really did a good job. They punched him in the mouth at the end of the third quarter and then just continued throwing body blows throughout that fourth.
Cole Du Bois adds 25 for the Raiders. For Richwoods, again, a very balanced scoring effort. Their leader tonight was Anford Moore, but he was closely trailed by Amarion Smith-Holly, the freshman duo combining for 40 points, as Smith-Holly has 19. Incredible outputs from both of them. Kingston Caldwell adds 14, Marlon Heron adds 16. Clutch free throws for him. He struggled with a little bit with his free throws in the past, but he was money at the stripe here tonight. Craven Bailey, Elijah Barksdale, Terrell Rickman, and Truman Raher also added buckets. And Amir Muhammad Williams, too. I think he was a big X factor for Richwoods in that one, especially on the defensive side. Taking away Du Bois a little bit at times, and just kind of being that aggressor, kind of if you're talking hockey terms, that goon there on the court for you, really just kind of getting in the Raiders' head and giving your team some momentum.
Yeah, I mean, he was taking some hard screens too, but I mean, he was just a pest on Du Bois, nothing getting up the floor and breaking that press for EP was easy. I mean, they just put him in straight, just one-on-one coverage there and let him just harass Du Bois trying to bring the ball up the floor.
So it'll be Richwoods against Peoria High for the 3A East Peoria Regional title. Hardware on the line. We will see you on Friday night here on, we'll see actually on CIProud.com. But you'll be able to find a link to that broadcast also on our website, ClutchSportsIL.com as well. Richwoods, the 5 seed, takes down East Peoria, the number 3 seed, storms into the Raiders' home and eliminates them from the playoffs. For all of our great, hardworking Clutch Sports Media crew, Ben Tapp, Mark Wagner, and Brock Stoller, and our sponsor for tonight's broadcast, making it all possible, Domino's Pizza. You can head to Domino's.com for some great deals. I am Jonathan Michaels saying so long and good night. More playoff action coming your way here on CSM. Washington Morton girls duke it out for a sectional title tomorrow as well. It's the best week of the year, folks. It's not done yet. So long and good night.